Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Lost in Stupidity podcast. We are podcasting and broadcasting. We're like ZZ Top. We're bad and nationwide. I'm your host, Turner the Burner. To my left sits the one Hillbilly Hired.
Hello, darling.
Nice to see you. And right in front of me again, filling in for the boss today, we have Bailey Joe Hickman. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit.
I heard that. All right, so today we are going to try not to be so controversial. I don't think that'll happen because Will is still here. But we're going to talk about a couple of things that are current to this time. If you're listening in the future, middle of 2025, we've been asked, why don't y'all talk about the Tim Kennedy situation? Why don't you talk about the Liver King situation? And then I'm going to throw in, just for the trifecta, at the time of this recording, the funny man, Shane Gillis, just wrapped up hosting the ESPYs. So I don't want to just get bogged down of rehashing
what stupid people have done.
What stupid people have done. I want to come at this, again, Bailey and Will have their own opinions, and they're welcome to talk about them on this podcast or open conversation. I'm going to say, for all of these situations, as usual, I have a lesson to take away from all this. That's the angle I'm coming from, and I want to share that with you.
It's like a South Park episode. There's a lesson at the end.
Right.
I was thinking VeggieTales, but
yeah, I'll go with that. I'm not.
We have learned.
Applies to a lot of things.
In his book.
I'm not particularly the Tim Kennedy thing. I don't think the Liver King's pretty open and shut. I'm not picking a side. I'm not going to talk about. I have my opinions.
Me and Will will pick a side.
Y'all are going to pick a side. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm just going to say this: there are unreasonable people on both sides.
I'll agree with that.
And that's the well, we'll get into that in a minute. Do y'all want to dive into that a bit? I'm going to let y'all.
I'll preface this with: there's unreasonable people everywhere. I don't care what side you're on.
Yes,
you can always be unreasonable, and I guess that's kind of without showing our whole hand at the poker table. Man, don't be unreasonable. Be willing to talk. Be willing to just have a conversation. And to give a little bit of our credentials, not that we have to have credentials, because I believe it's a free country and you have freedom of speech and you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Will is
novel idea.
It's a novel idea, right? It's almost like, you don't have to be an expert to be able to talk about things. Also, we're on a podcast called Lost in Stupidity. So even if we say something stupid, we're kind of covered. Will,
this man's a genius.
Did they just crack the code?
Did we just, if you preface it with, hey, I'm stupid, and then say the right thing, nobody can be mad at you?
Am I allowed to do Alex Jones impersonation on this podcast?
Why not?
Here's the thing. I'm kind of retarded.
So we're going to talk, about, like Turner said, about these, and me and Will are going to kind of give more of our opinion on this.
Sure.
Guys, we've gotten a lot of info from a podcast called Antihero, and there's some pretty cool guys. They're not necessarily family friendly, and we try to be family friendly here.
Sure.
But
also not just them.
But not just them. A lot of people. Valhalla VFT.
There you go.
A lot of guys have been kind of cracking down on this. To give a little bit of our repertoire, we are. What would you say? We're Anti-Hero Junior. We're like, you had Nickelodeon. You had Nickelodeon Junior.
Yeah.
Will's a veteran. How long were you in the Marines?
Just 4 years.
So you did one stint in the Marines.
Yep, did one stint.
And you deployed, didn't you?
No,
you didn't deploy.
Never went anywhere. I ain't gonna lie and say I did 20 deployments.
Wow, you were honest about what you did?
So how bizarre.
Man,
how bizarre.
So I'm not a veteran. I am former law enforcement. I did a year at a very large police department in the South.
You can say crime riddled.
You could say crime riddled. You could say rhymes with Rashville. And some of the people I arrested, that makes a lot of sense. Anyways, I was law enforcement for just over a year. Like Will, I'm not going to misstate my career. I wasn't in any running gunfights. I had a couple of close calls that were pretty scary. Maybe one day we'll talk about that. Changed the way I look at things, but I didn't have any just like, man, I was this superhero cop. I tell people about being a police officer. You learn a lot of cool stuff in the academy. and you're like, man, I'm going to get in gunfights and do all these kind of high speed car chases. And I'm like, that's probably about 0.5%. The other 99.5% is being a secretary for the whole, place.
Yeah. And
So that's our resume.
That's y'all's resume. As for my resume, the least interesting person in this room, I'm just going to quote an old Jerry Reed song. My daddy was a hardcore South Alabama preacher. My mama was a dedicated Sunday school teacher. My brother went to college, got a PhD. They always said the only dud in the family was me.
But that's the point, is that you shouldn't have to be.
Yeah, the whole what's your credentials? Like, you have to be a part of this in order to have an opinion on it. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's just.
If that was the case, then you can't have an opinion on sports. Because did you play in the NFL?
Yeah.
You can't have an opinion on your diet. Are you a dietitian?
Yeah. You quoted a Bible verse. Are you a preacher?
Yeah. So guys, ease off.
And
before we ever talk about our opinions, just ease off. A lot of this is lighthearted and fun, anyways.
A lot of it's lighthearted and fun, and to that end, I don't know. We need to be able to, and this is what I want to talk about too, with social media. We've made it to where.
Did the mic pick that up?
Did the mic pick that up? Dang it! Will Howard.
It was supposed to be quiet.
Silent but deadly.
Except
it wasn't silent.
Do we leave that in?
100%. That's the humor we love.
Oh,
look, we said
goodness.
it's family friendly. We did not say.
God dog, open a window.
My tummy hurts.
What'd you eat? Boiled eggs?
He had Taco Bell on the way over here.
Did have tacos.
Just bark one off, why don't you? Chris, I'm sorry.
There's barking spiders in this hut.
We need a voice of reason back. We need Chris back in here. Oh my goodness.
Never mind.
Hello, darkness.
The voice of reason guy on the Catholic apologetic guy. The voice of reason on Instagram.
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about.
He's like a big Catholic dude, and he's like,
here we go.
How
many religions are you going to offend on this podcast?
How many you got? Anyways,
carry on.
He's a Catholic apologist, and his Instagram name is
Michael
Voice
knows.
of Reason. And God, essentially. But yeah, he's outed as he likes little girls.
Oh.
Like you said, Voice of Reason, and that clicked in my head. I just wanted to get that up.
That's
my
terrible.
Goodness. The joke. Oh, good gracious. Moving on. I don't know where to go.
I don't know where we're at. Anyways, talking about Tim Kennedy.
Well, you
Who
said
acts like a little girl.
all right. Look. So we've got to be able to look. This is lighthearted, guys. We are talking about some serious stuff. A lot of this, we're just yucking it up. And I want to tell you, the audience, you can feel a certain way. You can be passionate about it. Listen, you've got to be able to have an adult conversation and say two things. One, hey, I don't really agree with that, but this is fine. We can still be friends.
Sure.
That's one. Two, these people are celebrities. And I'm not just referencing Tim Kennedy, but like there are celebrity athletes. There are athletes there are coaches that coach high school football in your town, good men of the pillars of the community. There's also celebrity coaches that you see in the NFL. They're not the same.
Yeah.
They're not, they don't identify with them. Same thing with athletes. Same thing with hunters. I'm not going to name names today. There are hunters on television that they're not like you. They're celebrities. And we need to kind of look at that and realize, hey, I can be entertained by this. I don't have to watch them if I don't like them. And it's the same thing with, I call them celebrity veterans. Tim Kennedy is not your average dude serving his country because he wanted to. Or David Goggins. Or
there's personal and financial interest involved.
And that's, look, you know what? I'm not criticizing that. That is fine.
Yeah.
But
if you can take something and make money off of it, look, I'm for
honestly
it.
Go for it.
I would caveat it.
Honestly.
Be honest. Especially, it's not just like, hey, look, I learned something cool. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, here's what I did.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Look at me.
And I would say I would say this. Oh, excuse me. Now I'm going to have a moment. Will's passing that on. Anyway, how do I word this? I'm trying to be very careful. I'm being more careful than y'all do how I word this. Again, I'm not demeaning anybody that's famous or a speaker or whatever, but what happens is with some of these, and it can be a hunter, it can be a veteran, it can be a chef, professional hot dog eater, whatever. We need to realize that these people are celebrities. And they kind of exist in a world that ain't really ours. And what happens is we choose them like sports teams when we were a little kid. Like, that's my team.
And we defend them
and we go,
no matter what they do.
My team always does right, and your team always does bad because this is my team, and they're better than your team. And we can't do that. And social media has made it to where it's a toxic battleground of constant team choosing.
Right.
Of constant picking winners and losers. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. And I'm saying that to us today. There is no argument you're going to make on social media to convince anybody else otherwise.
No.
I've tried it. I've fought people in the comment section. I've tried. Like, they're as determined as I am.
and look, you know what? And I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But we get so caught up in it.
You're allowed to have the wrong opinion.
Oh, that's your right. You can be wrong all you want.
Yeah, it's your right. You can be wrong all you want.
So do y'all want to dive into this and let me take a back seat and then I'll try to
we're just messing.
I'm going to let y'all fly the plane a minute, and then when y'all right before we crash into the mountain, I'm going to take the wheel.
Sure, we'll give it to you after we've set it on fire.
Yeah, I'll kick it off by saying, no, Turner said he's going to be lighthearted. I'm not. Everything I say, I mean it.
Yeah.
So, where do you want to start this off?
I guess we'll start with Tim Kennedy. So to give you guys, look, we're going to talk a little bit about the facts. We're going to give a little opinion. To round out what Turner said, guys, don't idolize people.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Stop idolizing people. I mean, here's a great example. For those, again, we've said this before. We're all followers of Christ. And if you read the Old Testament, man, there's some really cool guys in there. If you read Judges, man, that's like reading a Marvel comic book. Like, there's some guys that do some amazing things in Judges. And a lot of times you also see where they failed. And I think that's on purpose. Even David, who's a man after God's own heart, fails.
Absolutely.
Because
that's why Jesus is, in some early church literature, is referred to as the new Adam or the good Abraham, because all these characters and individuals we see from the Old Testament they failed. And Jesus comes along and he was everything that they were supposed to be.
Yes. And we should not put any of those guys up on a pedestal. Yeah. And that applies to today. They're just men. They are not. They can even be quote unquote good men. Mm-hmm. But don't put pastors on pedestals.
Don't put people on a pedestal. And then also it should allow, on the other side of it, it should allow us to be gracious to people.
Correct.
So, absolutely. I agree. Don't put them on a pedestal. Show grace. But at the same time, you can hold a standard.
You can hold a standard. And I meant to mention this a while ago, and I'll let y'all take back over. Look, like I said, celebrities exist in their little celebrity world over here. That's not our world, because they make money off themselves,
right? Putting
themselves out there. It's okay to make fun of them. Like, now, don't be cruel.
You're in the public eye.
Don't be cruel. You don't have to be crass. You don't, definitely don't threaten them or threaten their fans. That's absurd. However, it is okay to crack jokes about somebody.
Guys, and we'll talk about that. Turner, especially, is going to talk about that when we get to like the Shane Gillis stuff.
Yes.
Guys, it's okay to laugh.
It is.
It's okay to laugh. Yeah. It's okay to laugh at things you think are cool. Like, dude, when people make fun of cops, dude, we cracked up about donut jokes. It was a running joke at my department.
Yeah.
A few of us, after getting out, would line up our lunch so we could all go take it at Dunkin' Donut, because it was hilarious to see squad cars at Dunkin' Donuts.
That's fantastic. Anyway, continue. Tim Kennedy.
So Tim Kennedy has been on the scene for several years now. Man, what do you think, Will? Going back to the late 2000s?
Yeah,
I mean, he was on like History Channel stuff in like 2009.
Yeah, I remember. I'm pretty sure I recall seeing him on Future Weapons.
Future Weapons,
and
yeah.
I don't remember a time me personally on social media not seeing Tim Kennedy. He's been around for a while.
He rode the wave of social media. Look, the guy, we're going to give kudos first. The guy has an impressive career.
His legitimate things he's done is absolutely
it's cool.
Impressive. He's that guy.
If you met this guy and you had just heard, okay, you were in the UFC, and I'm not talking like, me and Will go fight at an MMA thing or something. This is like in the legit UFC and fighting matches. You join the military, become a Green Beret. He passed Ranger School. I mean, those are huge hurdles.
Yeah, he's that guy.
He's that guy. Like for any of you guys that have done, military training, when somebody says Ranger or Green Beret, you're like, ooh, that's pretty cool. Again, not a perfect person and not Superman, but you're like, man, that's tough. That's no joke. Does deploy. He did deploy to, what is it, Iraq?
Was it once to Iraq and once to Afghanistan?
It may have been. I mean, he does deploy and probably most likely saw combat.
4 times.
Did you say 20 times?
4 times. No, 4 deployments.
4 deployments.
But he says 20.
But he said 20.
I'm not saying anything else. I'm not saying anything else. Y'all continue.
And now we start sort of getting to the weeds of it. Is that sort of as he starts getting more in this media eye over the last 15 years, the tails get longer and let's just say the fish get bigger. And back in 2024, it was around Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Anti-Hero who is hosted by, they're legit, hosted by a police officer who was also in the military.
Yeah,
and
his
then
name's Tyler, what's his last name?
I don't remember.
Well, Tyler, he's currently a police officer, and he was in the 82nd Airborne.
Yeah, which is no easy task in and of itself.
Oh yeah, not a unit to turn your nose up at.
Yeah,
for sure.
like they there's a lot of pride being in there, and it's hard. I mean, I have an uncle who was airborne, and that is not easy. That's not a walk in the park for everybody.
No, not at all.
And then the other half of the podcast is a former Delta Force member,
Brent Tucker,
who was in 20 years. 18, 19?
8. I want to say it was 18 to 20. I think I can't remember if he got out after his 20 or if he had medical problems.
Because he did get hurt.
He got shot. And he's got a real Purple Heart.
He's got a real Purple Heart on his DD-214.
Discussing.
And these guys had this podcast before this, and they're pretty cool guys. Again, not necessarily family friendly, but if you're okay with that, man, go give them a listen. They have some cool stuff. If you're interested in sort of the military and law enforcement world, man, we'll enjoy them. And we've discussed a lot of the topics they've discussed, personally. Well,
and before people start bringing up like, oh, y'all are just bootlicking the Anti-Hero podcast. I mean, if we wanted to, I can nitpick stuff about both of them. If I wanted to.
Guys, I'm not putting them on a pedestal either.
No, because I really slacked off listening to them because of one particular guest that they have that's in the basically adult film industry.
I'm pretty sure in a live they addressed that. Like, why did we do that?
Yeah.
Well, and kudos to them for saying that. They're not, but we're just saying we're not putting them up on a pedestal.
Yeah, and we're not putting them on a pedestal. We're giving you their credentials.
Technically, I'm not doing anything but sitting back and listening
and looking pretty,
as always.
But the reason we give you their credentials is because if you're like, well, this dude did 1 stint in the Marines and this dude was a cop for a year, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, these guys do. These guys know what they're talking about, and they broke down in whatever episode it was back around Thanksgiving of 2024. They broke down the Tim Kennedy book, Scars and Stripes.
Just the first chapter. That's it.
Guys, and look, I'm a civilian now. I'm not a cop. And as somebody who I've got family in the military, I always military was cool. Dude, we all saw Private Ryan, Saving Private Ryan when we were 12 or 13. We're like, man, that's cool. Super scary, super cool. You kind of idolize it a little bit. And that's what this book is for. And if you just listen to the book, you're like, man, this reads like a Tom Clancy novel. This is so cool.
It's because it's fantasy.
And
because anybody with a room temperature IQ or higher can read that and say, you had how many grenades on you?
Well, and that's what they break down, especially. And if you think about it logically, again, I'm not trying to just, if you enjoyed the book, hey man, enjoy the book. It's fiction. It's not real.
Yeah.
But if you start breaking it down, like, okay, I didn't mess with any grenades in law enforcement. You messed with grenades in basic.
Mm-hmm.
How much does a grenade weigh? Is it like 0.9 pounds?
Yeah. It's a tad over a pound and a half.
Tad over a pound and a half?
Well, maybe. I don't, what? Scratch that. I really don't know. I'll tell you, I threw one grenade. All right. But there's no way on earth you're hauling around 50 grenades.
Let's say it's a pound. So you are carrying a 50-pound sack.
Along with all your other mandatory gear.
Let me interject here. Let me stop y'all there, because there's going to be. I've already seen it on social media. People are going, well, obviously he wasn't being literal. It's just like when you say, I've got a dozen of something. And look, let's walk that out. So here's what I'm going to say. Leave that alone.
As the voice of reason.
Leave that story completely out of it. Do not bring up the grenades. Me as a civilian, I can go look this up. Here's my thing. If you had been deployed, I don't know, let's say you had been deployed 5 times and you said 6 or you said 4, like, yeah, well, I mean, they run together probably. If you've been deployed 9 times and you said, I think I was deployed like maybe a dozen, I get that. 20 and 4 are really, really far apart.
20 and 4.
Look, I don't have to look. I can go look that up. I don't have to have a knowledge of grenades. I don't even have to bring that up. I don't have all the other stuff, the book, the whatever.
Just the
why
deployment.
right out of the gate before we talk about anything else? Man, you didn't have to lie about that. And then you lied so bad that it's almost an insult. It's kind of like here we go. I said I wouldn't get political. It's kind of like our government. I'm not offended that you're lying to me. I know you lied to me. I'm offended that you think I'm that stupid I would believe that lie.
That you could lie this much.
Continue. I'm going to shut up now.
No, but you're right. And I mean, we're kind of getting lost in the details because I think both of us are gear guys. We both we like stuff and we think it's cool. But continue.
So, like you said, through the lens of a civilian, okay, you're at work. You got your boss. And your boss gives you instructions or does something you don't like. And you think it's completely wrong. And you stand there, you curse him out, you berate, belittle him, dress him up and down to his face in front of all your coworkers. Do you get away with it?
There's an expression we don't normally. I try to keep this family friendly. I apologize. There's an expression that we used to have at the paper mill where me and Will work. We would be what we called a fired ass. That's what we would be.
See, that's what Tim Kennedy claims he did to the ground force commander on the resupply mission he's writing about in chapter 1.
Guys, we are, again, just comparing that to the civilian world. Think about your civilian boss. Okay. Now up the ante being in the military. Now, again, I was in the military. I know that if I went to my lieutenant or my sergeant and I was like, hey, you messed up this crime scene and dressed him up and down like he was a boot recruit, I probably wouldn't have a job.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been straight up hazed for just standing like a retard, let alone cursing somebody out.
Just looking wrong.
Exactly.
Okay, but and again, y'all can do your own research if you
go listen to the podcast.
If you listen to both sides before we get too deep of any more of his stories or what's up. What about the whole? What I'm seeing now is a lot of people saying he is owning it. He's apologizing. What do you care? And then also, like, basically because he's apologizing, I'll let y'all go into that we really shouldn't be making fun of him. Which, again, I don't look, man. He's a celebrity to me, just like Peyton Manning or Beyonce. whatever TK does, it has no bearing on what I do tomorrow
completely
whatsoever.
agree. I completely agree.
But
I'm not losing any sleep over
but
TK.
dive into the apologies.
Okay, absolutely.
Now, to preface this, while y'all are going through your notes, initially, and look, I'm not saying people are irredeemable. I think I've talked about that enough on this podcast and in my Bible study on the Indian Hen Outdoors YouTube channel. Obviously, I believe in forgiveness and redemption. But again, we're just telling you what happened. Initially, Tim Kennedy made a response to Anti-Hero and basically called them a bunch of liars and
kind of them out
and basically used some very foul language and, basically set up yours.
Instead of, accepting the fact that he was caught in his lies, what does he do? He posts a video and doubles down on the lie.
Didn't again, we don't know. We don't know these people.
No.
Didn't Anti-Hero reach out to him multiple times and invite him to speak his pieces on the show?
Multiple invites. Brent Tucker is in somewhat consistent communication with Tim Kennedy.
Yeah.
Tim Kennedy is well aware of the embellishments and flat out lies he has made over the years.
All right. So what did one of y'all?
You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
The apology?
Sure. I'll read the apology.
Go ahead.
All right. So again, if we're talking about just sources, this is from Tim Kennedy's on July 8th Instagram in the year of 2025.
The year of our Lord.
The year of our Lord. I want to take full and unequivocal responsibility for a serious mistake. Over the years, I made public statements and gave interviews in which I unintentionally misstated aspects of my military service. Most notably, I implied directly or indirectly that I had been awarded the Bronze Star with Valor. That is not true, and there is no excuse for it. I never received that honor. I deeply regret ever suggesting otherwise. That kind of recognition is sacred. It represents extraordinary courage under fire, acts that risk or cost lives. To those who truly earned it and to their families and brothers in arms, I offer my sincerest direct apology. What I said disrespected your service, and I take full ownership of that. I was young when I stepped into the public eye, and while I wasn't prepared for the scrutiny or pressure that came with it, that doesn't absolve me. I should have known better. Integrity is not situational, and I failed to uphold the standards I claim to represent. To the military and veteran community, especially those who served in combat or lost people they love, I am deeply sorry. I know I've let many of you down. You had every right to expect more of me, and I didn't live up to that. This apology is not the end, it's the beginning. I am committed to rebuilding trust through honest reflection, visible accountability, and ongoing service to the community. I misrepresented myself. I will no longer speak about my service in a way that evaluates me beyond what I actually did. From now on, my words will be guided by truth, humility, and respect. I understand that words alone don't heal disappointment or restore trust. Only time and action will. Thank you to those who have held me accountable. I will do my best to honor that accountability from this point forward. Tim Kennedy.
So, the only thing he apologized for was claiming to have a Bronze Star with Valor. That's the only apology made.
Yeah, that he implied directly or indirectly. I'm sorry, and look, I'm not trying to get us canceled. That's lawyer speak. I read enough case files.
So
when you give either option, boy, that's some lawyer speak right there.
So Brent Tucker, the co-host on the Anti-Hero podcast, has a friend who is a professor at the University of Central Florida there in Orlando, and he sent this apology to this professor.
This is pretty great.
They've got programs where they can input stuff like students submit and see if it was AI generated or not.
Yeah, that's fairly common now, actually, because of all the AI stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've been hearing more and more about that.
Yeah,
that's what they be saying.
I've got a professor at a professor friend at a local college here who has to do that for all of his history papers because he's like, because used to be plagiarism was the issue.
Yeah,
and now he's like, no, it's AI is the issue.
But continue.
So then that's phenomenal. Well, extra validation that this is a thing that occurs. And so Brent sent this apology to his friend, and he ran it through his program, and it came back 70% AI generated. and said if a student submitted this to me as a paper, he would not accept it.
So is that like the Weather Channel 70%? Is it like 70% of the paper or 70% chance that it's
70% of the paper is AI?
Is AI generated? That's interesting.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'll let y'all continue.
Man, here's what it comes down to me. Whether you like him or dude, I liked Tim Kennedy. I really did.
I've never really liked him. His mannerisms to me,
I thought he was arrogant. I always thought he was arrogant. But
I think I've always thought his mannerisms, it's that of a homosexual to me.
That's fair.
Dear God.
Dang. Oh, that guy.
What happened to family friendly?
That's why he said homosexual first.
Well,
I tried.
Are y'all still hearing me good?
Yeah, I still hear you.
Because I bumped some stuff over here. I don't know. And starting back up. So let's dive into, again, guys, I'm not picking a side because, quite frankly, both of y'all on both sides, and I'm talking about social media. I'm not looking at my co-host here.
Sure.
As a civilian, there are some things that I don't really have to have any experience in, like the deployment thing of anybody with walking and chewing gum sense can go, yeah, that looks fishy. I have questions about that. At the end of the day, it really don't affect me. I will say it's okay to make fun of celebrities when they mess up because they get paid to be in front of people. That's what they do. They're
Tim Kennedy's not hurting.
Tim Kennedy is an entertainer. He is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he used to be. He was a fighter, and he was in the military. David Goggins is now an entertainer.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning is an entertainer.
But what
LeBron James is an entertainer. And it's okay to make fun of entertainers if they gaffe in public because they get paid to be in public.
I understand the entertainment aspect of it, but what about all his business dealings? What about sheepdog defense that his little self-defense course he has? That's kind of his thing. It's like, hey, these are all my credentials. Most of them aren't true, but
to Brett Tucker's
my
point,
classes.
To Brett Tucker's point, he kind of talked about that on a podcast, and he had an interesting spin on it. He said, the reason why you go to somebody like a Green Beret or somebody that has, pretty elite training is that not only have they gotten the training, me and you got the training, not to their level. We got tactical training, but I didn't get in firefights. You didn't get in firefights. Those guys got in firefights. So not only do they have the training, dude, you can go to a range and get some really great training and you can be a phenomenal shooter.
If we're talking just shooting, if we're being honest, flat out shooting, civilians.
Oh, dude, they have them come teach Delta Force. Brett talked about that.
Exactly.
I mean, you Jerry Michalek. I'm not picking a fight with Jerry Michalek.
No.
But the reason you go to somebody like, for instance, a Tim Kennedy or, Valhalla VFT, is because of their experience. Because, man, they've actually had to pull the trigger. And they can say, and like Brett goes and trains SWAT teams. Because it's not just that, like, you slice the pie, you check your corners, you button hook, whatever.
Run the rabbit. It's like, no, this is when it actually comes down to it. This has been my experience.
Yeah, and this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
When I did this is what happened. And that's why you go to those guys. Well, now, and you bring up a good point with Tim Kennedy, is like, did it happen? Because I can't trust you.
Exactly.
And to the apologies point, he says in the apology, from now on, I will be truthful and honest. Okay, so until now, we haven't been?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just up till now, you haven't been? That's kind of what you're saying. Is like, moving forward, I will be honest and speak clearly what I'm saying. Okay, so now the whole thing you built with this company, did you build it on lies? Because I can't verify anything that you've done. Mm-hmm. And so now, do I really want to trust my life? Because you said, hey, I know that other guys say, clear a room this way, but I'm going to tell you how to do it this way. Should I trust you? I mean, also on another tangent,
here we go.
Room clearing is terrible.
Yes.
I know that's a super cool fad. That is terrifying.
Don't ever do solo CQB.
I can, even as a civilian with my very, 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 very limited knowledge of such things, I can give you a very good piece of advice about CQB. Don't do it.
Not if you, if
Just
you don't have to.
just
Not
avoid
unless
it.
You got 50 grenades in a pack in the car.
If you got 50 grenades, you're good.
Here we go.
I mean, but it's terrifying, guys. I've had to do it, and as a cop, you do it as not to their level by no means.
Right,
You
right.
usually wind up, having a homeless guy that broke into somebody's house, but instead of an actual threat. But I've done it on the job, and it's terrifying. It is not this cool. I know everybody likes to see it on Instagram, and you're like, man, this is so cool. I'm like, dude, when you're doing it, it is scary. Please stop glorifying this. And you, as a Marine, like, if you're in any type of infantry role, are y'all really going to do a ton of room clearing? Or, like, I've been curious about that as somebody, again, that did not serve in war at all. To me, that's like, if we don't have to do that, why are we doing that?
Yeah, off the top of my head, the last thing I can think of that was like full scale was what was it, 2005 in Fallujah?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's 20 years ago, and also modern conflicts which we're not directly involved in. Look at the front in Ukraine.
Dude, that's trench warfare.
That is
completely different.
And also the stuff of nightmares.
Man-made horrors beyond comprehension.
Go ahead.
The trench, the videos coming out from the trench warfare and the Ukrainian,
the FPV drones.
That not just the drones make it even worse, but just the trench warfare. It made me respect and feel sorry for our great grandfathers even more that fought in World War One.
Yes,
I was like, this is terrifying. This is awful.
I mean, that's where the term shell shock comes from,
right?
And you're like, oh, I get it now. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Also, on a side note, moms and dads, if your kids have unfettered internet access, they should not be watching that.
No.
Oh,
you should not be letting your 12, 13-year-old watching drone strike videos.
No.
I shouldn't be watching them. They terrify me.
No.
They are horrific and terrible, and we as human beings fallen in the Garden of Eden, we're not made to see people die so violently and so often.
And that leads us into, we'll touch on Liver King a little bit, and that leads me into something I want to talk about. But for those of you that don't, wrapping up that.
Well, just curious.
Go ahead.
There's a question. You say like on both sides of the aisle. What are you critical of people that are against Tim Kennedy? Like I don't understand that half of your perspective.
And
maybe not necessarily on the Tim Kennedy thing, maybe more on like
just in general.
Guys who do look up to soft guys, special forces guys. I don't think that's necessarily bad. Yeah. I think you can have heroes.
I think people you can take lessons away from.
There you go.
There you go.
Don't idolize them. And
I would say that, again, I'm going to get preachy again. What are you gaining by arguing over something? What are you gaining? It goes back to, I always want to try to do right and not just be right. And so it's the way you discuss things. You can have a disagreement with somebody. Look, what TK does affects me in no way. I can have the opinion like, you kind of lied about some stuff and it looks like you're not really apologizing for it. I can have that opinion, but I can say that in love to a family member that don't agree with that. And we can walk away and go, you know what? We can have differing opinions and that's okay.
Yeah. It doesn't have to turn into a burn Tim Kennedy at the stake kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I hope he's sincere. I hope he comes to Christ.
On social media, no matter what argument it is, if you're pro something or anti something, there's a way to have a disagreement in love, and we're pointing that out in Scripture. Agreed. There's a way to have these conversations and it not just turn into a screaming match.
If you speak truth without love, you're a resounding gong.
That's my point.
My stance with just like reasons why Tim Kennedy needs to be held accountable is he continues to be a problem. I agree with that. He claims he went to Afghanistan during the Afghanistan withdrawal, which he did.
Yeah.
Claims he spent days and days there, pulled out 12,000 people, and that's not true. When he got there, his presence there with him posting on social media and everybody knowing he's there halted evacuation efforts. He didn't get he got one bus of people out of there. That's it. One bus of people. Wasn't even there for 24 hours and left. He showed up.
You want to know something, though?
What's
you know who I blame for that?
Hmm.
The government. Who gave him permission to land?
There you go.
I mean, and that's kind of where I'm going to get off into conspiracy theory. He kind of seems like a propaganda arm because it's like, why do y'all?
Oh, they're definitely just using him as a recruiting
Why do y'all just
piece.
let him come do all this? Because like, if again, the fall of Afghanistan was a terrible thing, we can say for another day. But like, who gave him? What air traffic controller said? Air traffic controller said, "Yeah, dude, come on, land that plane here."
Well, look at
that's a bad idea.
look at all of Tim Kennedy's recent social media activity. He's just rubbing shoulders with politicians all over the place.
He's making a political run of it.
Okay. Then he goes to
North,
North Carolina after Hurricane Helene or whatever.
Yeah.
Just completely wrecked things up there. Showed up, went to link up with some guys, said, hey, give me a list of people that need to be rescued. And they're just like, hey, we're here. We already got stuff established. We'd love to have your help. Let's do it. And he said, no, give me the list. The guy said, well, no, that's not how we're going to do this. Dude leaves. Tim Kennedy leaves. Goes around, spends the rest of the day going around to other people trying to get a list of people to rescue just so he could make a video of it and post it on social media. Nobody would give it to him. The next day, he goes back to the original people he talked to and said, hey, y'all want to do stuff together? Said, no. We don't want to do stuff together.
Well, and if I remember right, because this is from the Anti-Hero podcast as well, the guy who's telling the story was a PJ.
Mm-hmm.
He's, he
was with the, what's the name of that?
I don't remember. But anyways, he was, I mean, he was on the ground. He's the one that.
The Citadel Foundation.
There you go. But I mean, he was there doing what he was supposed to do. But and again, all that stuff aside, I agree. He continues to do this.
But to my point.
To your point, yeah.
Well, to my point of the reason that he's so popular, and you say, well, why is he being allowed to do this? Because he's really popular. You know why he's really popular? Because a bunch of people follow him on social media. If we had a bit of maybe morals, I don't know. And again, I follow whoever you want to, but maybe, whoever that is, a celebrity, you realize, hey, they're a celebrity.
Yeah.
I'm not putting them on a pedestal. I'm not giving them all this attention. B, this person seems really self-absorbed and talks about themselves all the time. Maybe we don't need to give them that much attention.
Oh, I completely agree.
And that leads into we're all over the road.
Attention's a great segue for.
Yeah, right. Well, the whole Liver King thing, and I don't even have to go into that. But, why everybody says, wow, Liver King, he made this big scam, and he was really on steroids. And I'm like, yeah, because y'all keep giving him attention. He has millions of followers. Why do y'all keep following him?
No,
why do you know?
Tim Kennedy and Liver King have millions of suckers that follow them.
Well, that's
Liver King. How back in 2021? Is that when Liver King came on the scene?
Don't give me the line.
Just 4 years ago, I think it was October of 2021, he started doing this social media Liver King thing. How on earth did you people not look at him and say, yep, this dude's in his 40s and he looks like that? He's definitely not on steroids. He's eating liver and bull testicles to get that way.
And to bring this to a head, where I told you I had a lesson. This is what I look at when I see a celebrity get into trouble, have a fall, or in Liver King's case, I mean, he doesn't even seem lewd. No, that's probably
There's
not.
some sort of extreme substance.
He seems what's the word? He seems manic. Yeah. Like in those the videos and leading up to his arrest the other day.
He looks like he's having a breakdown.
He is. He looks like he's having excited delirium.
Yes.
My question is, and I've seen some videos, maybe a little more for Tim Kennedy, and to a lesser extent, Liver King about, well, you got to stand by your friends. I agree with that. And certainly Tim Kennedy can apologize, and he can be redeemed of this, and God can redeem and use anybody. We talked about it on an earlier podcast. See Paul.
Yes.
A man literally going around killing Christians, and then, other than Jesus himself, probably did more to advance the gospel than any human in history.
Agreed.
My question is, along the way, look, I'm glad you're standing by somebody after they messed up. My question is, does nobody love these people? And that's the lesson I want to tell the audience. Do you have somebody in that arm's length people, that inner circle, and it's not going to be big. It's probably going to be, if you got more than 5, I've never heard of it.
Right.
You have a handful of people in your life to hold you accountable as an adult human being, as a Christian. And I would say, where are those people in these men's lives? Because watching Liver King, and look, it's easy to say all the things he did wrong and he done the scam.
Sure.
And he's losing his mind, he's on drugs. I agree.
Even TK, it's easy to look and go say,
It's
hey,
easy to look at.
here's all the wrong things you did.
It's because all the people that they're surrounded by, they have extreme financial interest in
There you go.
perpetuating
And I end up
their lives.
I end up feeling sorry for these people because they have nobody in their life that took them aside, that loved them enough to go, buddy, we're headed down a bad path here.
Yeah.
And again, not to get into the veteran stuff even more, the celebrity vet, the whole Mike Glover thing.
Yes.
You know,
that's such a mess.
Was there? And I'm not even going to get into that.
No,
but I'm just
we don't
going
have
to
to
say
get into
this: if was it Andy Stump? I'm going to kind of call him out. You're one of his closest friends. At no point did you take Mike, and maybe he did. We just don't know it.
Maybe he did.
Did you take him to the side and say, "God, buddy, your marriage is a mess.
Well, there's a twofold problem there.
You need to get your home life straight."
There's a twofold problem there. One, you put all your business out there for everybody to see.
Yep.
And then you're shocked that people are interested in it or feed off of it. But like you said, like Will said, you got people in here that are financially invested.
Yeah.
And then part B is, how do you define love? Because if I just come around you, even if you're not famous, if I just come around you and I'm like, man, I'm just going to encourage him. I'm just going to be nice. I'm just going to say everything he's doing is good.
Yeah.
That's not loving.
No.
That is tickling your ears.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That is giving you false affirmation. Sometimes loving is saying, hey man, you're kind of messing up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you at church. You stopped coming to Bible study. You started drinking. I mean, you've done that for me. Both of you have, of like, hey dude, you're not being the man you should be. And, I think some guys, especially if you're rich, famous, and powerful, you respond with, man, who are you? Who are you to tell me what I do? And that's probably what happened. There were probably people in their lives at some point
very possible
that did that. And they were like, who are you to tell me that? I'm rich and famous. And those people are like, cool, bro.
Yeah. And to the people that say is like, oh, just stand by your friends. You had mentioned Paul. In 1 Corinthians, Paul was writing to the church in Corinth saying, hey, there is a guy in your congregation that is having a sexual relation with his stepmother, and all of y'all know about it.
And
shame on y'all.
You're going along with it.
Y'all are enabling him. You're standing by your friend. Kick him out. And they did. And in 2 Corinthians, he says, hey, this guy is doing everything he's supposed to. Let him back in.
Yeah.
That is a phenomenal footprint of how we should deal with our fellow man.
Yes. Look, if you're not doing right, you've gone to them, they still won't do right. You've taken a brother with them, they still won't do right. Especially if they're in the church. You go, hey, look, you're continuing not to do right because we love you. We can't let you in here. Yeah. And I'll tell you a practical way to understand that is, man, if you let that go around, what does Paul talk about, meat sacrificed to idols? If you don't know that passage, if you don't know that reference, Paul says it's fine.
Yeah.
Unless a younger Christian sees you.
Yeah.
And the reason is that a young Christian would see that as sin and it may cause him to stumble. So if you've got young Christian around you, don't do that. Paul realized like, hey, the meat sacrificed to idols in that time frame, dude, it's just meat. I don't care if they sacrifice to a fake God, eat that ham. It's all right.
Yeah.
But the point of not eating it was so that you wouldn't cause other younger Christians to fall. And if you allow things to come in your church or allow things to come in your circle that cause younger Christians or your children to fall, you will be held accountable for that.
And in closing, two things. One, guys, it's okay to have discussions like this. It's okay to make fun of celebrities. It's okay to make fun of us. It's okay to disagree. That I mentioned Shane Gillis. And
let's wrap up with that.
Let's wrap up with that. So he hosted the ESPYs, which is the Athlete Award show. And to me, and to a lot of people, he had a lot of funny jokes.
Yes.
I would say, in my humble opinion, he was downright hilarious. Social media has made us afraid to laugh and so afraid of being canceled and so afraid of what other people think looking at us. We're afraid to laugh.
Yes.
Everybody in that audience, save for 3 or 4 people, was either taking, because again, celebrity, athlete falls into celebrity, they either took themselves so seriously, how dare you make a joke? Or they were scared to laugh because I better not be caught on camera laughing at that joke. I'm going to get canceled. And it's absurd. Social media is not the real world. It is a land of arguing AI and chat bots.
Yeah.
It's not the real world. Let's all loosen up. Lighten up, Francis.
Completely agree.
And in closing, guys, this is my advice. It's okay to have heroes. It's okay to look up an encouraging speech or whatever. That's fine. As far as someone to try and look up to, first of all, the number one person should be the only man that was ever perfect, which is Jesus, because he was God and he came in as 100% God, 100% man. He is the only example to ever exist to be a perfect man. So therefore, he is the standard on how to be a man.
Amen.
When you are looking at these people out there that are speakers and they've been gifted platforms and they're famous or whatever, I would avoid the person, whoever it is, football player, coach, Beyonce, whoever.
Green Berets,
anybody that's constantly saying, let me tell you how to be a man, or let me tell you how to be a woman. Let me tell you how to do this. I'll tell you the secret to do this, and this. Just keep watching me. Keep watching me. I would avoid me monsters. I would avoid people that make their career their entire personality.
Yes.
The person I would listen to is that man or woman that goes, and I don't do a good job of this. I hope when it's all said and done that I do this throughout my life. Listen to that person that goes, please, I'm begging you. Do not look to me, look to him.
Yes.
I'm a faulty, sinful, horrible, wretched human being.
Yes.
That is just, I'm a beggar trying to tell you where the food is. Please don't look to me, look to him. I would listen to that person.
Amen. What was it? There was a pastor who said, we as Christians shouldn't be a magnifying glass, saying that, hey, look, God's really small. And if you look through me, he'll look bigger. No, that's not how it works. We're supposed to be a telescope.
Yep.
God's huge.
I like that one.
Amen.
He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. When you look through us, you should get a better picture of him. It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But also, you shouldn't glorify the telescope because I'm flawed. I got cracks in me. I'm terrible. I'm awful. Like you said, I'm a beggar trying to point you to Christ. But looking at us, we should give them a picture and say, oh, man, there's something there.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Because, be like Paul said, imitate me as I imitate Christ.
Correct. Yes.
Don't try to be David Goggins. Don't try to be Tim Kennedy. Don't try to be Jocko. Try to imitate Christ. And if you're already a believer, I'll leave you with this. Contrary to what the majority of us are taught, there's actually 5 Gospels. You have Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and the life of the believer. You should live your life accordingly and be ready when somebody asks you, hey, man, why are you a Christian? And shine that light into their life.
Amen.
We have 2 episodes in a row we've went to church, and I'm okay with that. But
that's it, brother.
Again, we hope we've encouraged you to think, If you don't have to agree with us, we don't have to agree with you. That's perfectly fine. We're still friends, and we ask that you would join us on future adventures. I am your host, Turn to the Burner. I'm with Will Hillbilly Howard. I've got Bailey Joe Hickman, and this has been the Lost in Stupidity Podcast.